welcome to FLX Brunch. We are here today with some lovely ladies. You may recognize Carol Kane from Finger Lakes Wine Country. And with us today, we have Erin Bailey from Wagner Vineyards and Wagner Valley Brewing. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, living it up in the quar.
Oh yeah, quarantine life. How are you, Carol?
I'm good. I'm finishing up my bottle, so I'm really good.
So we're doing really well.
Yeah,
really well. You just opened yours. So, Erin, you are the digital marketing manager for Wagner Vineyards over on Seneca Lake.
Correct.
Tell us what's going on at Wagner.
Well, I haven't been up there in over a month because I do all the nerd computer stuff, but I get the inside track from everybody who's going up, and a lot going on in the vineyards. If you've caught, we're doing our weekly Friday virtual series, and actually last week we were in the vineyard with John Wagner and his son Ian Wagner.
I saw that they were braving the blizzard or whatever it was.
Right? Yeah.
The weather was terrible the day we decided to do that, but it's representative of what they're dealing with, and it's a year-round thing, so it's definitely, we're all ready for warm weather. But
no doubt
we've got people, especially the local people who are used to popping in are still able to come in, and we're doing curbside pickup, and we're shipping a ton of wine because everybody
for me.
Yeah, I think we've all ordered plenty of wine. So, Erin, what are you drinking tonight or this morning?
I am drinking the Wagner Dry Rosé, the 2019. If you missed our Friday live, we are doing that with our winemakers talking about this. It's a brand new release. I actually just placed an online order with our store myself for a little bit more because it's absolutely just drinking beautiful. We actually have both the 18 and 19 available, so I ordered a little bit of both so I could try them side by side because that's always fun. So if you haven't tried it, it's 100% Cabernet Franc, so it's definitely it's very representative of the Finger Lakes style. We actually just got word. I lied. A couple days ago. I have no sense of time right now.
I know.
We just got word recently. A wine enthusiast rated us a 90 on this wine, and we're on the best buy list. So.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Good news.
Also, I had to stock up, didn't want to miss out while everybody floods in.
I love a Wagner rosé. I mean, I love a Finger Lakes rosé. I think it's something that we do very well here. And man, Wagner's, I always buy a case. It's just, I have to every year.
Yeah. I
Right,
did a split case of the 18 and 19. So.
That's what I'm going to do.
Smart.
That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, we'll have to get back.
There's shipping discounts going on right now. So if you're in New York State or PA, which I think PA may have just reopened their liquor stores, but we get a lot of PA Wagner fans calling us and saying we have no way to get your wine. So we have free shipping in New York and PA. And everywhere else in the country is 50% off. We ship to 19 different states, so that's listed on our site as well.
That's awesome. Carol, I know what you're drinking is probably similar.
I finished mine. I have the last year.
I like that we both have our matching Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner.
Oh, cute.
40th is from the 40-year anniversary last year, and this is the 2018. I ordered a case of this recently, but I gave a bunch of them to my friends.
Yeah, smart.
You're a very nice friend.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
You are a very.
I have regrets now. I have regrets now though, because this is my last one. How many 18s do you have left?
We have a good amount, but not a ton.
Not for long.
Yeah, no, it is discounted. The 18 is discounted currently.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But I really like to do the side-by-side tastings of the different vintages.
I'm gonna do that.
Everyone thinks that rosé is really only good when it's fresh, like that first year of the vintage, and not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Our rosés I know have great ageability, and a lot of them made of this style, quite frankly, do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I've typically, especially when you're bringing out the new vintage, I tend to like gobble up the previous vintage because it goes on sale. So it's like I'm always drinking the year behind because with rosés, it's because it's
Yes. No, it drinks.
and they're delicious.
I have this tendency since I started working for Wagner. So I wasn't in the wine industry prior to working for Wagner. I was in the tech industry doing website stuff. So I learned a lot about wine. I went and did my WSET1 and all that other fun stuff to try and make sure I knew what I was talking about. But I've got this weird habit where I fall in love with certain vintages of certain wines and I hoard them, but there's like a certain point where I'm like, all right, I don't necessarily have the best storage for it where I live.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I can't continue to hoard this like this.
Yeah.
So I don't have the best storage for all of these older vintages that I'm hoarding. So it's time for me to start drinking it. And I actually have back the first vintage we did of this dry rosé was
what is that?
So
wow.
We actually had done it like 100 years ago. So we just celebrated our 40th anniversary and we had done this, I want to say 35 years ago, maybe. It was in the 80s and it just wasn't a thing then.
Yeah.
People didn't get it. And so we stopped making it. And so we found an old bottle at one point, which was really cool. But so I have a 15, a 16, a 17, and an 18, and a 19.
That's
so
cool.
One of these days I have to, when it's safe to not to have people over. One of these days I want to have people over and do a whole vertical.
And I'm on the top of your list, right?
I was going to say, we're both invited, right?
Both on the invite list because we're talking about a lot of bottles, so I'm going to need a lot of people.
You're going to need a lot
Got
of
it. I got you. I got your back.
Yeah, vertical rosé, I'm in. Perfect.
I know I can count on you.
Of course, of course.
We're givers.
That's awesome.
We're takers of wine.
Mostly takers of wine. So I am not drinking rosé. I'm also not drinking a Wagner wine because I'm out of Wagner wine. It's usually one of the first to go off my wine rack. So, but I have a neighbor of Wagner. I have Hazlitt, their 2014 Cab Franc, and it's delightful. Another wine trail member, and just, I mean, a hop, skip, and a jump down the road from Wagner. They're another one of their dry reds I can't get enough of. So,
but you're rocking the Wagner gear.
That's right, exactly. Thank you. So, yes, I have the Wagner Valley Brewing Company hoodie. This is my quarantine uniform. Yes. I rock it all the time. And I have to give a shout out to my Uncle Wayne, he was a manager at Wagner, and he bought this for me. So, and it's all I wear during quarantine. So I felt it was appropriate though. Typically I would dress up for a brunch, but I felt it was appropriate to rock it for today's brunch.
Yes. We actually just did, was it last week? Again, I have no sense of time right now. I think it might have been last week. Our live was with our brewer. And it was the intersection of wine and beer because there's actually a couple of sours he makes using the skins from the rosé to do a sour. So we're able to start shipping beer within New York State. Unfortunately, we can't do any other states right now.
I didn't know this.
This
that's good to know.
Just a thing in the last week. 2 weeks.
Wow.
And your root beer too?
What was that?
Your root beer too?
Yes.
Gotta think of the kids. That's why it's for the children.
Your kids definitely.
I'm thinking of the children.
I would apologize for getting them hooked on it, but I'm not sorry.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, our non-alcoholic root beer is one of the biggest sellers, but it's absolutely fantastic.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, good. I'm glad things are going well at Wagner. I'm glad you guys are staying busy, fulfilling lots of orders. And it's great to hear you're doing some free shipping for our friends in New York and Pennsylvania. And with that, I have a few questions for you both. Since we are entering 7 weeks in quarantine, not counting.
No wonder I have no idea what it is.
Exactly. It's just time stood still really for the past couple months, but things are, we're probably settling into this new lifestyle. In fact, I've often said in the past couple of weeks, I'm a little anxious for things to get back to normal. And luckily, I think they're going to be staggered, so I'll have to encounter people on a staggered basis, which is good for me because I think I've realized I'm more of an introvert than I ever wanted to admit. So, but with that said, so what are you both looking forward to doing once things do start to open up? What's something you've missed and you're just dying to get out and do when things get a little bit back to normal? So, Erin, do you have any thoughts here?
I have
Just in the perfect spot.
I know, that's perfect. She didn't even start. Okay, go ahead.
So I've in a bunch of group chats with some friends, and we've actually just the last couple weeks gotten real antsy. We really miss our nights out on Market Street. I live in Corning, so working remotely is not new to me entirely. But we were just talking about how we cannot wait to go, and especially when the weather is nicer, and grab some drinks out on Market Street, go for nice walks.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait to hug my friends.
Yeah, I think we could all agree to that. Carol, how about you?
So we're right along Keuka Lake, and I think one of the things that I miss is just doing the stuff at the wineries, and or around the lake, like the Friday nights at Wagner, which I know probably wouldn't start till like late May, right? Traditionally, Erin?
Yeah, a Memorial Day weekend when they start. We're not sure how that's going to play out, but they're scheduled, so.
Yeah, but like things like that, where you go and have like these events and you sit there and just drink wine or eat on a deck overlooking the lake. I kind of miss that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I also do miss my girlfriends, and I miss hugging them too. And I mean, we're really lucky. We live right by a vineyard, so we get all the beautiful views, but it's nice to just be able to go out and enjoy it with other people.
Yeah, I would say I think the thing I'm missing most is just time with family and friends. And it's funny, I've like dropped off groceries to my mom a couple times and like not even being able to hug her, or it was my nephew's birthday a few weeks ago and not being able to go to his party and those kinds of things. I'm just ready to have my family and my friends, even meetings, like gotta love Zoom. I mean, I think we've all gotten really used to it, but even just having that face-to-face contact with my coworkers, like I think we're, doing our best with this, but I think I'm ready to sit around a table again and brainstorm and, have that more personal interaction. This is great. It works, but I'm definitely ready for some.
And now I feel like a total jerk because I should have said I miss being with my oldest, who I haven't seen since the end of February.
So as soon as you were talking, I was like, so here's what I forgot. Are you guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I miss my son. Yes, my son.
On Monday the 20th, I got a new nephew. And I am excited to meet him at some point, and I forgot to mention that.
Oops.
Well, it's okay.
I miss you, David.
Yeah. What's your nephew's name?
I don't know if I can say that yet. It's not.
Okay.
So it was a secret, and they wanted to tell everyone, so I don't know if I can make it public yet. So
no, it's okay. Okay.
But yeah, no, it was. So they live down in Jersey, and they have a specialist that they were seeing in New York City because my sister-in-law has lupus, so there's certain risks and things, and so it was a very big deal, and there was a lot of exciting and not so fun parts of it, but it actually went really well, and they're home and they're happy. And my other nephew's identical twin 5-year-olds, which are insane.
Oh my gosh.
The first night that he's home, the one twin says, "Tomorrow I'm going to teach him how to walk."
Oh. I love that.
I bet she's like, he's too boring this way. We got to teach him how to walk.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, as soon as you can, you have to post photos.
Yes.
As soon as I get the okay. She wanted to get home and showered and feeling pretty, and then take some newer pictures that she wanted to post. So once they have the public pictures, I'll be sharing them for sure.
Awesome. Yes, I always love the videos and pictures you share of your nephews, because my son is the same age as them, and one is more than enough, especially now. So God bless them. And especially with having a new baby too. I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know why you like it's on purpose. Don't ask me. I have cats.
No, yeah, you have cats. Exactly.
I don't understand.
Oh my God. All right. So speaking of craziness during quarantine and especially, you know, just getting used to everything, what's one tip you have for self-care during this time? So Erin, you'll go first.
So I have not been great at that dividing line between work and personal. So that's the one thing I'm trying to do better with. And there are some weeks that are better than others. We just had a club shipment and that was a lot of work. So I wasn't really great about it. And it made me realize that the effort I was making to exercise was incredibly important to my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So those couple of weeks where I just didn't really have time and I was just constantly at the computer, it made a big. I'm one of those people. Forgive me. I'm using the Peloton app because it's free right now, but like I actually am really liking it, and I would hate myself, but I like it. So.
No, it's so funny. We actually had a conversation, and Carol was saying that you're using Peloton app for your yoga on a daily basis, right?
Yeah, well, I just started doing it because we have the bike, but then obviously not here, not in in the house here, and so just sitting down so long, and then you sit down and then you get up and then you go to bed and then you sit down, and it's really started messing with my back, and also I started feeling really like tight and I don't know, so I wanted to start out really easily, and there are there's like a 5-minute one, and then there's another that's a 10-minute like one that you do in your sitting down, like chair one, and those are really great, and it just stretches and opens everything, like your muscles up, and it's just really great. So the yoga thing is real, but I agree with you, Erin. It's really difficult. I kind of really was failing at ending work at a reasonable time because it's right there and you're not really doing anything, so you're like, oh, why not, but I try to close my computer at like 6 o'clock if I can, just close it up, and even if I'm on my phone like messing around on Twitter or whatever, it's not like work related. And Christina knows that I'm very much a workaholic, but I've really tried to tone that down a little bit for my mental health.
Yeah, I've been doing yoga as well, but not through the Peloton app. I've been a subscriber for the Down Dog app for probably 4 or 5 years now, and I love it. But it's free right now for a couple months. So
oh, cool! I tried that one too.
That one's great because it mixes it up. So like every time you do it, it's a different flow.
Nice.
Which is cool. So like you don't get bored. But
right.
You can set like different levels, and you can do like the ones where you just want to sit, or you can set the time, or like if there's something like if I've been sitting a lot, like my shoulders will get particularly tight, and you can actually set focus on that, which is cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I had been really bad at getting out and moving my body, and like Carol said, like going from sitting in your chair to sitting on the couch, laying in bed, and it was really bad for a few weeks. So I started incorporating a little workout when I get up in the morning, and it's kind of embarrassing because I'm so sore because I just started. Like I've never been.
But it's good.
It is. It feels good. Like it's a good reminder. Like I'm active, but I'm like I went a little too hard on Monday.
Who says she doesn't say she's sore. She says I feel my muscles, and I
love. Okay, that's self-care. That's reminding yourself that you feel things. So that, okay, I'm gonna change up my self-talk. Okay.
Work on that, right?
And yeah, exactly. Oh, always. Last question, and the opposite of, well, no, not really, because eating is self-care, but I've been indulging a little bit too much during quarantine, which is why I need to work out too. But I have a question. What is either a new recipe you've tried, or what is your favorite thing that you've ordered in during quarantine? So
I am not a chef. I do not cook. I generally just do very basic things. So there's been a few things that I've made, but for the most part, I'm just kind of picking at things. But I love ordering and supporting our local restaurants here in Corning. And the absolute comfort food of ordering pizza from Atlas has been great. Chocolate chip cookie, warmed up.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
That's one of our favorite places, huh, Christina?
Yeah. Oh, I love Atlas Pizza. It's so we work on Market Street. Of course, Finger Lakes Wine Country's office is on Market Street in Corning. So all of the Finger Lakes Wine Country staff are frequent visitors to Atlas, but I haven't had Atlas in like 2 months, which is very sad. Very sad. I could probably manage to go and pick one up, so I don't feel that bad for myself. But I live in Elmira, so I've been supporting local restaurants here, and the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've been ordering from a Mexican restaurant in Elmira, downtown Elmira, called Los Panchos. Oh my God, it's so good. I like their salsa. Their salsa, like I always order like a family size, like the large thing of chips and salsa, and they give us like 3 bags of homemade chips and all this salsa, and it's like to die for. It's like what I eat for lunch most days. So highly recommend if you're in the Elmira area.
I have been craving Mexican in the worst way.
So good. It's so good. So
one of my group chats, every once in a while we'll all start to lose it, so we'll just pretend like everything's normal. We'll be like, so let's all get dressed out and go out, and we'll meet you at Hand and Foot at 8 o'clock. But like just we're like, hey, it's Taco Tuesday, let's all get dressed up and we'll all go and meet up at Brava. And
I love it. See, yeah.
We'll like see you in a couple hours.
That's so fun.
I'm so fun. So Carol, what about you? What's your go-to?
So my neighborhood, if you call it that, Christina knows where I live.
I know your neighborhood. It's like a road with a vineyard.
Like a road.
There's a brewery down the road.
It's a road. I live in Prattsburg, and we don't have a lot. I mean, we have a lot of wineries and breweries. I'm along the wine trail, but we have a bodega. I call it a bodega. It's not really a bodega. I think it's a bodega. I call it the bodega. It's called Why Not? And it's a what would you call it, Christina? Like a country market store, because
it's kind of it is unique because it's like a little bit of a store, but they also have food to go. So
it's a bodega, just like a bodega. If you ever go
like a bodega,
and you go into a bodega, they have like hot foods, right. And then they have like the shop where you buy like your toothpaste or whatever,
right?
And they have the best hot wings ever. And so we'll go and we'll just like, they know it's obvious because we're the only ones ordering like 80 wings at a time. And it's so good and they're so nice. It's this young couple. And so we just order it's right down the road, and I call them my local bodega, which everybody thinks is funny. But yeah, Why Not in Prattsburg? Best wings ever.
They are. I've had their food and it's delicious. We went there last summer when we were on our vacation to Cuca Lake, and it's delicious. So that's good. Well, ladies, thank you so much for taking some time to get together this morning and chat Finger Lakes Wine Country food and wine, and of course quarantine, because that's the time we're in. But we hope that things continue to go well for you guys at Wagner Vineyards. Thank you so much for representing one of our favorite wineries in the region. Erin.
Thanks for supporting us.
Cheers. Just in time for my last sip.
Cheers, ladies.